If you guys are clicking on this video, that means that you're clicking on to watch a SpongeBob review that you get every single Monday. And if you want to check out the other videos, go on to the playlist that you're going to see soon. Okay. I'm just worried because last time I made a video, I think using this computer, that the camera kept fucking up. It kept, the audio was off, so I have to make sure that it does that. But anyhow, this is going to be more of like the background stuff this week. I started it last week, and I think for like a couple more weeks you're going to probably get a little bit more of how they make the show and stuff. And I really like doing that because I always wondered like how they made SpongeBob, and have notes on all that stuff. Really just the names. I didn't like write down like word for word what they said, but I very badly remembering fucking names, so I have to write down all the notes about who they are. And I don't want to use my phone because sometimes it fucks up. But this one's called Recollection from the first season crew. So this is like their thoughts, I guess, on what it was like making this first season. Obviously, though, the people that made the first season isn't the same people that are making the current season, because the current season pretty much fucking sucks balls. But something I liked about watching this, though, is instead of just covering everything all at once, they would put like a title, visual writing, and then they would give their thoughts on it, and then they put like another title, pitching, and I really liked that. I thought it added a lot to this, and you got to see what they were talking about instead of now we're going to talk about visual writing. I like how they took their time with that. And I really liked watching this because it really got to make me feel like what it was like making a TV show like this. Because it's obviously not easy. It's obviously probably a little bit easier to probably make like a Walking Dead episode, or like a Breaking Bad, or a Zoe 101, or Drake and Josh, or Modern Family, all that stuff. Like the show, like in the real world, because it's actually like real people. You don't have to go through like a storyboard, draw everything. You still have to edit everything. It's probably still not easy, but I think it's probably harder to make a cartoon personally, you know, because you have to edit everything, you have to color everything. It's probably really hard. You need a lot of work at it. So this is like yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say. I'll just talk about each thing. I'll talk about how they talked about the visual writing first, and I'll say who talked about it in each section. Obviously, everyone that's in the section, Eric Rees, who was like the storyboard artist, and he's like, I guess, the main writer, and Sherm Cohen, who was the storyboard artist. They both have the same job, but I guess Eric Rees has like a bigger job, a little bit of a bigger job than he does. And I think we met Eric Rees before, if I'm not mistaken. I think we met him last time, but I'm not really going to check. You can just check the last video. I could be wrong. And he talked about how, Eric Rees talks about how it's awesome to use the animation. It really brings it to life, and you can really come up with your own story. And then they talk about pitching, and I thought pitching was pretty good. And Ennio Torrenson, I don't really know how to say his name, is the storyboard director. He's a storyboard director. I think he decides, he's like a movie director. He decides what's good, what's bad. So I think that's awesome. And he talked about how it was hard really coming up with ideas in front of 40 people. And Eric Rees actually gets nervous with crowds. I have a friend who's like that too. He can't go to parties or concerts and stuff because of crowds, and movie theaters and all that stuff. But he's really nervous, because it was 40 people that they had to pitch the episodes to, because I guess they made every episode that was on this current season that I just reviewed, and season 1, and it was a lot of stuff, and they were worried about like whether they were gonna laugh, and he's just really nervous. So he tried to he was tossing and turning all night. He had coffee and he had hot cocoa with extra sugar in it, And it shows them pitching their ideas though, like in the background. Like it doesn't show the whole thing, but it showed Ennio Torrenson pitching the jellyfish jam idea, and it showed Eric Wees pitching the Home Sweet Pineapple idea, and talked about that scene when SpongeBob was turning the pipeline on the sink, and how like everything kept going upside down and Patrick just finally fell. It was actually pretty funny. And then they talked about the editing, and Lynn Harbison, who's the editor, and Tony Otson is the director-editor, and they just talked about what it was like to edit all the episodes and how it was awesome to put all the episodes together and how it was pretty difficult. And underwater, Deanne and Hemmon, who was the color stylist, and John Seymour, who was the background designer. They talked about how they loved to be in underwater and they finally got to do something like this. And John Seymour was underwater, and he never really like appreciated writing all this, drawing this stuff. But then he's like, "Hey, this is what this looks like in real life, so let's incorporate it in this episode." So they became they really liked drawing this stuff. And then Aaron Splinter. I wonder if this guy is related to Jerry Splinter, but he's the cartoon genius, and I think Sherman Cohen talked about how this guy is like the biggest genius of cartoons ever. And instead of him saying anything, he didn't give a reaction. He just sipped like a drink instead. That was actually pretty funny. But he talked about how he would have like one idea, and he would like give 20 ideas off that idea. And he talked about how he got annoyed when he would use the Sharpies, and that's really he liked it because it made the show good. And working environment. Then they talked about the working environment, and Kenny Pitzinger. They have names I can't really pronounce. Who was the background layout supervisor? And he talked about how it's not as easy as you think working, just drawing pictures and stuff, and coming out here with like a bagel and a coffee. It's not as easy as you think because you get like distracted a lot when there's a lot of people there, which makes sense because there's like. From what I saw, there was like a lot of people that do a lot of stuff, and it showed like the distractions that they get. Like some of them just wearing like costumes, some of them doing like handstands and walking with it. Some of them playing like the ukulele, all that stuff. Just using Christmas trees. But I thought seeing like, I mean, it is a lot of distraction, and it is stressful when you can't get the work done, and you have like a dateline to get this stuff in. It's pretty stressful. And I really liked that. And I wonder if this is how they came up with some of the episodes, like the Halloween episode when they see all those guys in costumes. Like, hey, let's do it like a Halloween kind of party with it, since we had like a little party in here. I thought that was awesome. And then they gave the final words about what it was like. And Paul Tibbett, who was the writer and storyboard director, he said the first season was actually his favorite season because he got to see like what he got to work with everyone, and he got to showcase all their talents. And Tia Wayne, who was the color supervisor, she said that she thinks of SpongeBob and Patrick like her children. She always dresses them up and stuff, and it's kind of right because she's the color supervisor, but so she adds the color to SpongeBob and Patrick, and she always dresses him up and stuff, and I think that's good stuff. And then Mr. Lawrence, who was the show writer, and he does the voice of Plankton. Forget what he says, actually. And Derek Inverstein, production assistant, he talked about... He pretty much... And I'm just going to go through the names. Andy Clark, background painter, and Jenny Monica is the casting, and music. I don't know. It looked like it might... C looks like an E. My handwriting is absolute crap. And the supervisor, but she's the music supervisor of Nickelodeon, and they all talk about how it was a great experience making the SpongeBob episodes and really working with it, and they talked about how they really feel like they entertain the kids, and they entertained me because I'm still watching it till this day. Some people call me crazy for still watching SpongeBob, but it entertains me. It's been a part of my childhood probably since I was maybe 3 years old. I really don't remember because I was kind of young when I started watching it. Came out in 1999, but you know, if I really like reviewing this. I think maybe since I'm doing this channel, maybe it's gonna make me a bigger fan of SpongeBob because I really enjoyed going back and doing the past reviews. I really have. Some of them haven't been the greatest. Obviously, I haven't gotten there yet. There's only been maybe one that hasn't been good out of this season. So this actually maybe might be my favorite season because it really started it all. And it really probably, you know, if this season obviously was a success, if it's still around today, I mean, fuck, they haven't even, they need to end the show though, but this season's obviously a big success, and I agree with these people. You know, Steven Henson, if that's his name, the guy that created the show, really is a genius. And I think they talked about, too, that how there was a lot of people that knew about the underwater world. So that also works. And I agree with them. You know, it's really, you can't just have someone come in that doesn't know about the underwater world and expect it to be a good show. I think that's also what makes this show good, is that they all know about the underwater world. They all know what it's like. Well, most of them know, but you know, the main is, as long as the guy that created the fucking show knows about it, then that's doing something right there. But that's all I have to really say. I thought this was a good sit through. It's really interesting to see how the show how they make this show. So I'm really interested in that. But I'll be back next week, and I'm not going to be doing. I'm probably going to be doing these type of videos. If you don't like these type of videos, just kind of get through it, because it's not that going to be that much longer. I think there's like a few more episodes on the special features, so I just really want to touch up on this stuff, because if I keep just reviewing the episodes, I'm not really going to know the background. I'd rather know how the episode's created. So that's all I really have to say, though. I will be probably reviewing Season 2 very soon, just not yet. But I'll be back next week to do another SpongeBob review, and feel free throughout this week and stuff to check out the playlist, because SpongeBob, you know, I have a lot of SpongeBob reviews there, and that's pretty much it. And I'll be back this week to give you a lot more content on this channel. You're going to get the Walking Dead review tomorrow and the Breaking Bad review Wednesday, and then probably about it. I'm going to try to do a video on Saturday. I wanted to do a video every Saturday for a while, but I'm always busy on Saturday, so I wonder if I have to change the day. But that's pretty much it, guys. Peace out, and subscribe to this channel, too, if you haven't, and follow me on Twitter and stuff. Probably Breaking Bad. I'll be back probably to do a. Oh fuck! I didn't hit stop.